what's going on, Miguel, host of Life Full Circle Radio. I think we was off last week because life happened. So anyway, and we're gonna be off next week because of Memorial Day, and y'all ain't gonna come hang with us anyway. So we're gonna go ahead and take next week off next week. So we're gonna get a lot in this week, a lot going on. Governor DeSantis, the worst kept secret in politics. He'll supposed to be announcing that he's running for president here on Twitter with Elon Musk. All y'all Twitter owners, Twitter owners, Tesla owners out there, and Twitter owners, because he got both the T's, right? So he's probably making that announcement on Twitter. Beyonce, people aren't really liking this expensive concert, supposedly, that she's supposedly not singing and dancing too much. Word has it she may have had foot surgery. You know, the way she's been moving on stage, and she ain't that young. She's 40 plus now, so, you know, it's kind of hard to keep up. Jim Brown passed away. We're going to talk a little bit about that. NAACP is saying don't go down to Florida, and then what else? I think that's enough. All right, we're in a whole lot of other stuff. All right. All right, so yeah, if you need anything to learn how to use to stream your broadcast, if you want it to be live like this, fly like this, let me know, or you can just go to my website, hit that little QR code right there, and we can get you going. What's up? We're on the air. You want to acknowledge?
I know you guys. It's Tuesday, not Monday. I know our intro said Monday night.
It does say Monday. It does say Monday night. You could have said that before, but most people gonna watch this on the rebroadcast anyway. So as far as they know, it's Monday. Matter of fact, I'm gonna change it.
At this point, we might as well just take the Monday night off of it, so it just stays evergreen. Just saying.
Right. It just need to say something. What's going on? Here's a funny thing. So many of us, y'all, Kia and I live in two different states. She lives in I don't even want to call it a hellhole because I like Florida for the most part. I love my friends and my people who are in Florida. I got some great people in Jacksonville who are family and friends. I got you down in Orlando, and I got people, but your governance.
We live in Gilead, and for those of you guys who watch The Handmaid's Tale, you know what Gilead means. We live in what's turning in to be Gilead, honestly. But we got to see. I took my mom and the Gremlins on a road trip to see see my aunt, and on the way to Atlanta, you got to stop by Miguel and Tracy's, especially now that Tracy's home. So we got to stop by there and have a sweet time, and the babies love them. And
finally. Little Leela actually came up to me. Leela didn't like me. Stop it. Leela didn't like me.
Oh, finally, Sheila. I thought you were finally meeting them. I was like, you've met them before in person. But
Leela didn't like me.
Leela is warming up, but we are now entering into the terrible 2 phase. That is a phase that she's next level. Like, she gets popped in the leg when she does something wrong. Now she's like, oh, I did something you don't like, so you popped me. So now when you do something I don't like, I'm going to pop you. That's where we're at now. She's swatting at us when we do something she doesn't like. She tried to fight my mama today. Like, full on.
I'm just sorry. Yo, I'm going to giggle every time I hear little stories of going on with these twins. Just because the history. We going all the way back to before Hot Girl Summer was a thing. Kia was a part of Hot Girl Summer.
Hot Girl Summer, y'all. I was so Hot Girl Summer. Miguel and Tracy was like, what is wrong with you? Take that off Facebook. That was 23, 22,
2006, 7, somewhere around in there.
Oh God, yeah, I was young,
fresh out of FAMU.
Yep.
Yeah. Now you up here with hair scars and t-shirts.
It's been a long day, child. With my real hair on. When's the last time y'all saw my real hair? Never. I'm tired. Yep. Anyway, let's jump into the show.
All good. So we got a lot to talk about today. As we mentioned, DeSantis wilding out. He's all up and down our little show today. Beyonce, and then I want to talk about LeBron. And so y'all make sure, I'm gonna give y'all some time. Get all your little LeBron haters. Make sure you share this with them. Because we're gonna have a little conversation about LeBron and all y'all hating on LeBron unnecessarily. We're gonna talk about that in a minute. But let's jump into this thing. All right, so Ron DeSantis.
Yeah. It's which part do you want to start with now? Where do you want to go? I got it from all angles.
First of all, Ron DeSantis, the worst kept secret in politics. Trump light. Have you seen a video of him supposed to be interacting with someone? He was this cackling laugh that they say one of his biggest problems is that he is
Obnoxious.
he's not a good
From
people person. He doesn't engage with people very well. But this is your governor. I'm gonna let you start this segment. Go ahead.
I mean, I'm disappointed. I mean, I've never liked Ron DeSantis. It's not like that's never been a secret on the show. I've never been a fan of him. I feel like he was trying to follow in Trump's footsteps, and then it became let me outdo him. And not in a good way, but in a I'm just going to be as negative as possible. So he's banned African American AP history, which is a very important course that a lot of kids, not just Black kids, should take. But then he tried to replace it and say that API history, so Asian American Pacific Islander history needs to be taught in every school. And shout out to my Asian and Pacific Islander brothers and sisters who were on Twitter like, we're not falling for your crap. You're not about to put us against the Black community. There's already tension there. You're trying to put us up as a model minority by having this course be taught. We're not falling for your BS. So I don't think this AAPI course is going to go how he thinks it is. So there's that.
I saw a video of it. I don't know who it was. It was an Asian influencer who addressed that directly. I saw that on Instagram the other day, and because if for people who don't understand the model minority concept, it is they try to pit Asians against everyone, all other minorities. As being the model minority, because as you know, you never hear about Asians really getting into politics for the most part. They start businesses, they come over here, they live their lives. Everybody want to live their lives, and so
they mind their own business basically, and they're quiet and sweet. They don't do a lot of crime in their neighborhoods. They just hang out, and that's
they make money. They make businesses, but so. And of course, the African Americans are the ones that we just continue to be the minorities that they just want us to go away, and it's just we're here, and so yeah. But so the AAP thing, and here's the thing: I just don't understand what is up with Ron DeSantis. Why this is such a big deal to him? And I look at this thing and I said,
because he needs a minority group. He needs a minority group to win. He's not going to get 100% of the Latino vote. He's going to get some of it. He'll get the Cuban vote.
Yeah, he'll get the Cuban vote.
But the Cuban vote ain't everybody in Florida. Like there's a large Puerto Rican population here. There's a large Peruvian, Mexican, Costa Rican. It's not just Cubans who live here. They got here the quickest, I guess, but there's not the only ones who live in Florida. And the other one I wanted to bring up is that he's made it illegal for a company to have illegal immigrants on their payroll if you're doing construction. And a lot of the companies are just like, this is a problem. This is a massive problem.
The secret's out. We're not really doing all this work. We really got ourselves a whole bunch of Hispanics that are doing a ton of this work, all this roofing work in the middle of the summertime.
They showed the video of some high rise being built in Miami, and the foreman reading off like, "Yo, hey, so this is what's about to come down." And it wasn't like, oh, there's 15 Hispanic people over here and everybody else is white. No, it was all Hispanic people. And they all were just like, all right, well, y'all build this building if y'all want to. I don't care.
Yeah. Right. And it's a whole lot of work, whether it be building, construction, lawn maintenance. There's so much work that's being done here in Georgia. It's everywhere. And so all of a sudden here in Florida, you want to say, okay, now it's illegal. We're going to fine you for having folks on your work sites. And so now, you're messing with the people who are voting for you, because these Republicans who are the ones who are owning these businesses and own these buildings. And now, that little wink, wink, nudge, nudge is going to turn into a coming to you.
Miguel, you're exactly right. And even as a Republican, everybody's like, hire American. Americans do not want to do this job for the price that these people are doing it for. People are talking about, oh yeah, I'll take a construction job for $50 an hour, and I'm good at what I do. I got to trade. Nobody can afford that. No one can afford to pay a construction worker at least enough to fill the job site for $50 an hour. That is just unreasonable. A lawn care company who's like, oh yeah, I'll join your lawn care company for $35 an hour. They cannot afford that. And this is why I always get confused when they say, oh, Mexicans and this, they're just lazy. They're just living off the government. I've never seen a lazy Mexican person. Have you? Never.
No.
Never in the history. I've never seen a lazy person who comes here from another country, brings their whole family here. They are up at the crack of dawn, waiting where they need to wait to get a job, to beg for work, to make sure they can support their family. So where does this lazy stereotype come from that they're living off of us and taking our jobs? They're taking the jobs that Americans don't want or are going to do for some crazy amount of money. And even if they get the money, who wants to be in a field picking strawberries, even if it is for $50 an hour? Who wants to do that job? Somebody get in our comments.
Well, there's people who want to get. Here's the thing. We've basically demeaned people in those type of positions and those type of jobs for the last 50 to 100 years. And now you've got kids, like I said, I'm 50 years old. That's something that I'm not, I get lawn maintenance. I'm not trying to be out in my yard. I got bad allergies. I ain't trying to be out in my yard cutting my own grass. You know what I'm saying? But we are at that place now that we've created an economy around these people being a part of our economy, these workers being a part of our economy. And I want a whole lot more black kids to decide that they want to be roofers and do more jobs that are more technical as far as what's the word I'm looking for? Anyway, plumbing, electrician,
industrial trade jobs is what they're industrial
trade work, but they don't want to do it. So until we get folks to the place that they're trained and they're able to be, not only do they want to do it, but that they're trained and have the ability to do it, those are the folks that are doing most of the work. And now, so I don't understand. Here's the thing. And maybe you have more access because, as a Republican, maybe there's some chat rooms or some different things. I don't get the strategy of alienating so many people unless they just believe that white supremacy is so powerful in today's America that we're going to take this strategy. We're going to alienate Asians and blacks and gays and everybody and say, regardless, we're still going to remain in control. Now, here's what we know from a gerrymandering standpoint, from a state legislator standpoint, many of these, they are controlling them, right? But that's still temporary. It's not a long-term strategy. And, we look at what Marjorie Taylor Greene with the brother up in New York, and she trying to scream that she was afraid of him and all this type of nonsense. It's crazy.
That was ridiculous. But I have one more Ron DeSantis thing to bring up before we, close all the evil stuff out that he's done. I don't even think this is him that's done this, but Amanda Gorman, who was a poet laureate for Biden's inauguration, I think she became the youngest poet laureate in the U.S.
Yeah.
Some mom got mad about her poem.
One person.
One mom got mad about the poem and got it banned, I think, in all of South Florida. Not all of Florida, but all of South Florida schools are not allowed to have the poem either read or it can't be published in books. I have no problem with parents having control over what their kids do and do not learn. But it can't be one mom. It can't be like me, Nakia Shakur, walk up to the school and say, I don't like that Devin's learning this, so no kid gets to learn it. It should be like it used to be back in the day where the PTA gets together because it's like 50 PTA moms who are just like, listen, we got a problem with the sex education class. Can you guys blur out the penises or the birth scene in whatever movie? Okay, fine. It can't be one mom gets mad and now it's like, banned.
Right.
That's not
It's
normal.
happening. It's happening, but it's not normal, but it's happening. We're supposed to be in a democratic, which, that's a whole different conversation, but it's happening. That's the world that we're living in. And it's, it's just only going to get worse. Now you've got Trump, who's, even though he's running, I'm seeing his lawyers are saying that this mess that he's got going on now, because he's being sued again by the woman who won the civil case because he went out there on CNN a week and a half or 2 weeks ago and started talking about her again. Right after that, after you just lost his civil case, they got a deposition with him. I think I saw today, and it's to the point. It's just such noise and nonsense that you just ignore it most of the time, man. And I just sit back and said, this is crazy. All right, let's move on. I want to talk about let's talk about Meagan Good and Jonathan Majors. These pictures always are so funny to me when they have these candid shots. He got his hoodie on. She's got her baseball cap on.
We recognize you, light-skinned girl and dark-skinned boy. We recognize you. But I love his suitcase. Is that alligator? That blue alligator suitcase? I'm going to get it. Or the knockoff version. That is gorgeous. That's
why you go get the knockoff? You got paper?
Yes, I do have paper. I have bills. I have this diploma that's also made of paper. I I have this receipt that's made of paper. Ooh, all of my paper. Don't do me like that. Anyway.
So anyway, Jonathan Majors, Meagan Good. Meagan Good was always. I remember her going all the way back to. Now I can't remember the name of the movie where when she was young, it was her. It was
Eve's Bayou.
Eve's Bayou, Smollett,
Yep.
when she was young, and
Eve's
I
Bayou.
think wasn't it Samuel Jackson? He was in that movie.
Samuel L. Jackson, and it was I forgot the lady's name who I love so much. Was it Lynn Whitfield in that? Played the
She
mom?
might have been. It may have been. It may have been with Lynn.
And then the
Whitfield.
other lady I like was the grandmother. Okay, or Lynn Whitfield's mom. But yeah, it was Eve's Bayou.
But she's grown up now. She married a pastor for a minute, and now and now she's back out in the streets. Now Jonathan Majors, with
back out in the streets.
can Meagan Good make women forget about all the issues Jonathan Majors has been going through for the last couple of months? I want to get your perspective on that.
This is how raggedy I am, and I'm gonna admit that, and I'm cool with this. We watched Ant-Man on Thursday. I watched how good his acting was in that movie. I was like, well, he ain't kill nobody. I mean,
I personally thought that movie was pretty boring, but but it was decent enough.
Well, even if you take out the movie story premise, it was a little boring. But his acting in that,
he's a great actor. He's a great
actor, and it's like there's no way
you got to give him some material, because like even in what is it, Creed 3. I thought Creed 3's script. Have you seen that yet?
I haven't. My mom did. My mom was like, "Oh my God, he just made that poor little Michael B. Jordan guy just look so sad and silly." I was like, Michael B. Jordan can't act. We're not going to go back to that.
We're not going to go there because ain't nothing wrong with Michael B. Jordan's acting. No, we're not doing that. But I thought that script was pretty needed some work. They kind of rushed that Creed script. But point being, going back to Meagan and Jonathan Majors, you've paid closer.
Wait, really quick, I'm sorry. Let me answer your question.
Yes.
Her dating him he was. I don't care about his career. I don't want this to hurt her career. I don't see the upside for her dating him right now. What is the upside for Meagan Good? I don't see
it. Because all attention is good attention, and I don't really see. I have paid somewhat attention to what's happened with Jonathan Majors and in this situation with this ex-girlfriend of his. It still seems pretty lame, the story, from what I can tell, but I could be missing something. Meagan Good is kind of on the periphery. She used to be an A-list. She's kind of B- list now. And Jonathan Majors is a major story right now. And it brings her back to the forefront. I think she's got, I always talk about it. She's on a TV series, and I think it's the summertime show. So her show might be getting ready to come on. So it's time to be visible. And that could be possibly part of it too.
Visible, but and then we all see these relationships. And Miguel is why he's bringing this up. And we all see these. I got something new coming out. Let me date somebody. But all the people her publicist could hook her up with, why him? There's other people. She could have hooked him up with Michael B. Jordan.
Nah, that's not her MO. Her MO is not to be third, fourth cookie. She's not. She's usually, that's not her style. But
still, this just seems.
Plus, she's a bit older. Well, I guess she's probably a bit older than Jonathan Majors too.
No. He's older to be in this game. He didn't really break until Lovecraft Country, and he was already 34 by then.
Oh, so is he pushing 40? I don't know.
Let me look it up, guys. Let me look and see how old.
Because I know Michael B. Jordan is a little bit younger than she is. I want to say she's got to be in her early 40s by now. But he
is young. He is young.
Yeah, I didn't think
he's only 33 years old.
Jonathan Majors.
Mm-hmm.
He got an old man's face. Yeah, he looked like he's.
It's that nose. It's the nose. It's
leave that man.
It's the nose.
So, but I think it's Black people love do your thing. Jonathan Majors.
It's not a do your thing, Meagan. You left your husband because the rumor was, or the assumption was, that he wouldn't let you, or you couldn't be the actress doing the stuff you wanted to do. Now, if you date him, are you going to be picked to do the stuff you said you wanted to do? Is that how this works?
Why not? So here's the thing. I have a very short story with Meagan and her ex-husband. What's her ex-husband's name?
Devon Franklin.
Devon Franklin. I was working doing some work with Walmart years ago, man. This is Essence Festival. They were just getting together, and I think they may have just gotten married. And Megan was a chain smoker. As far as cigarettes, she was drinking up a storm, and I was just like, "Ooh, okay," I wasn't, I was working, and of course, it ain't my business to tell what now. It's 10 years later. It is what it is. Megan and Devon Franklin never made sense to me because
That I agree with you with. I
right,
agree with
it
you.
just never it didn't
It
make
didn't.
sense because I didn't think she could change her persona and who she was enough to fit into that pastor mode.
She
John,
tried.
hmm? She
She
tried, but then
tried.
next thing you know, she said, "All right, I'm tired of trying to do these Lifetime movies. I need to get back out here and
I'm
because
surprised. Are you not surprised that they never had a baby?
I don't think she's the baby type. I don't think Meagan Good will ever have children. She doesn't seem Meagan Good gives me Janelle Monae energy. And Janelle Monae, if anybody paying attention to what's going on with Janelle Monae right now, that sister is she's
If you're giving Janelle Monae energy, she's not for the streets, but Janelle Monae is literally the definition of I want to be a free spirit. Like how
yeah.
Erykah Badu used to be back in the day. Like I just want
But
to be
Erykah Badu,
free.
Erykah Badu took a long time before she started showing anything. Janelle said, "I'm about to put out a whole project that I'm gonna confuse all y'all. Y'all
But
ain't gonna
even
know
Janelle
where."
Monae's, remember when Janelle Monae's recently her fashion changed? She went from I'm wearing suits and they're fitted and I'm
Yeah,
this and I'm smart and I'm doing the smart movies.
yeah.
Now I'm getting on bars half naked after the Met Gala.
Well, you do know. Are you paying attention to what she just released last week?
No, I don't pay attention to
Oh,
her
you
music.
missed that. Oh, you got to
Oh,
go to
that's so cool.
Instagram.
Tell me. No, tell me. I want to know now. Yeah.
No, she got a whole video out that's basically born half it's soft porn. It's like she's out there just.
No.
No, Janelle Monae is like, okay, y'all gonna pay attention to me. It's summertime. I done kept myself in good shape, and
But why, Janelle? You are getting good acting roles that you probably shouldn't be getting. Whatever. You're getting you're wanted on Broadway. You're wanted in music. So why do girls do the naked thing if you don't have to? If
it's
you have
all
nothing
about
else going
attention.
for
We talk
yourself,
about this on the show every week. There is so much currency in the creative economy. Can't get it out my mouth. If it's attention that you're getting, like how often do we ever talk about Janelle Monae on the show? And I think Janelle Monae, she's a beautiful woman. Her energy is
talented.
she's
She is
very
talented.
talented. She's dope. Right, you
There's a
see it
butt.
now.
There's a naked butt.
She's
There's a
showing
naked.
more than a naked. Yeah, she's.
Well, whose butt is she hugging right here?
I don't know, but you don't go down that rabbit hole on what's going on. She just released that last week. I'm surprised you didn't catch wind of it. Yeah, she's out there showing all the goodies. And so I don't know. She came out a couple of years back. You look like a teenager. Look at you, like a little, like a teenager. She came out a couple of years ago and she kind of told me she was a free spirit. Yeah, I don't know what the word term is where they don't. What's the term when they don't maybe it's not polyamorous.
It is polyamorous.
It's not. It's another term she used. It ain't polyamorous, but that
Then we'll call it my favorite word, hoeing.
I'm not going.
Yes.
I'm not going to
No,
co-sign that.
but she was as a side note, but to what Miguel is saying, she was dating the girl who plays Valkyrie in the Thor movies, the black girl who plays Valkyrie. They were a couple for a little bit of time.
I don't even know who that is.
Tessa Thompson. Tessa Thompson. They were a
Oh,
couple.
oh, they were.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
that's you could have said from Creed because she's the wife from Creed
Oh, I
too.
forgot she was in their
Yeah,
baby's death from Creed.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Um.
Next story before we go down a rabbit hole again.
Well, they were already good, So anyway, so Janelle Monae, I think when we come down to social media, how did we get to Janelle Monae? We were talking about Meagan Good, and Meagan. Let's wrap that up. Let's put that a bow on that.
If she's happy, I'm cool with it. I hope her career doesn't take a hit. Jonathan Majors, I still feel like I liked him in Ant-Man. I liked Ant-Man because we're pushing the story along. And I feel bad that they're going to recast him because they are recasting him as Kang. They are fishing out there.
Is that true?
No, it's true. It's true now. They are casting for a new Kang in the series. And
Can we talk about Can we talk about Marvel? Marvel got to get their stuff together because
Whether you together, they're perfect. What's the problem with Marvel?
Are they perfect? Really? Well, are they perfect? I just think they're at a point now where this whole MCU. What's it called when they can people die? Because I'm still trying to figure out having gone to go see what's the one that's out now, Guardians of the Galaxy. Now I didn't watch in the last movie, the blue girl, she died. Is it blue girl? She green? The one. What's her name?
The one played by Zoe Saldana.
Zoe Saldana. She died, and all of a sudden now they just advertising her back in the movie, just like we supposed to.
But
just.
She did die. That version of her did die. But because they brought them back from a different timeline using the gauntlet, that version of her is still alive. She has nothing to do with the new Guardians of the Galaxy, and she's trying to figure out what am I supposed to do in this timeline because everybody she knew is dead from her timeline. So
that's the weave. That's the weave, right? Okay. Because Saran called me.
Spider-Man.
But see, here's the thing. You are talking you're sold out to this storyline.
I'm sold out to Marvel.
As a casual Marvel person, I'm like, come on, man. Y'all got to give me more than that. Like from a promotional standpoint, don't just have her all up in the promo like I didn't just see her die in the last film. Can y'all at least put it in the promo coming from a different timeline?
They explained it how she came back. They explained it. If you weren't paying attention,
where did they explain that?
Oh God, I just told you how they explained it.
How are you so frustrated with me? How are you so frustrated? When did they explain that to the casual? Is it in the promo? Is it where is it?
Infinity Wars. They explained it.
You talking about the whole so here's the thing. All right. I'm gonna take that at face value. So that means that everybody that's still alive, and God bless the dead, Chadwick obviously can't come back. Anybody who died, Iron Man died in the film. Can Iron Man come back?
No, he died. He died after Gamora is her name. She was in a different timeline. Everybody went back to get a stone. And when Thanos realized they were back in his timeline getting a stone, he found a way to come to the current timeline with everybody, including Gamora. That's how Gamora got dropped off here because she helped kill. You need to watch the movies. You need Disney Plus in your life. Omar's talking to you, just so you know. My husband.
I got Disney Plus. I got a life. Daggum. Them movies are too long. They're like 3 hours long. Send me the scene. Let me catch up.
The only film that me and Omar weren't huge fans of was the recent Wakanda Forever, only because Shuri as Black Panther was ridiculous. So a prima ballerina size 0 is now Black Panther. She's now super strong, you guys. Stop it. It's stupid.
No, it's not. And here's how I'm going to stupid you're stupid. It's the suit. Come on now. It's not like Chadwick Boseman was superhuman, jumping off cars and bouncing off the walls and flying.
He was buff in real life, though. He was buff when he took the suit off.
But it don't matter once the suit come on. She can beat everybody up. You saw her clinch up my man M'Baku. M'Baku gave him the little, and he was like, "Oh yeah, she the Black Panther."
At least Nakia, who is Chadwick's baby's mama, whatever, she had thigh meat. And she had a butt. She looked thick and buff.
She worked out for that thing. Yeah, she worked out for that thing.
Exactly. It was like, this makes sense. If she became Black Panther.
Sherry stayed on her little vegan diet, and she said, I'm going to still be Black Panther.
Vegan and no vaccination. Anyway, moving on.
All right. So anyway, have a little fun with that there. So, all right, let's jump back into, you know what? I want to get into, let's just get into, because I know you want to talk about what's your man name, Nick Cannon.
What for you? So
yeah,
this is the what that I think Nick thought was funny, but no one else thought was funny. During Mother's Day, he decided that he was going to write all of his baby's mamas, a nice little lovely letter from the heart. Mm-hmm. Except for he got all the letters mixed up and mailed the wrong letters to the wrong women's houses. Now, I don't know if this is just content for his podcast, he thinks it's funny, or if he actually did this. Mm-hmm. But either way, Nick, you're an a-hole, and I need you to stop. Like, I love the content because I can make Miguel laugh and giggle, but it's
just the beginning. This is every time you bring up Nick Cannon on this show, I tell you, it's you are going to court, my friend. It's only a matter of time.
But you want to hear something funny? My brother's
What?
gonna murder me if he hears me tell this story. And my
What?
mom is still awake; she can hear it. So my brother, this is years ago.
Oh Lord.
He was cheating on his baby's mother, who was pregnant with his child,
Okay.
and he wrote the same letters that Nick Cannon did.
Okay.
And mailed them to the wrong women. He mailed the same letter to his girlfriend he was cheating on his baby's mom with. He mailed both letters to his baby's mom's house. And I remember because the baby's mom came to my mom's house crying hysterically, freaking out. And she told my mom would try to comfort her the best she could. This is not where Blanche does well at. Blanche does not do well at drama at all.
No, I can see that. Her spirit is too peaceful.
Her spirit is too pure. Well, I'm so sorry he did that. I'm sorry. Can you go home now? Because it's like 11 o'clock at night. I hope you're listening, Mom.
Oh my gosh.
I can see how this happened.
But it's like every time you was like, oh, there's another Nick Cannon story. I'm like, what now? I saw something about I saw a headline about, and I didn't read the story, about him say, the heck with child support. I'm giving Lamborghini support or something. He gave one of his babies or made a payment on one of the baby mama's cars. And
that's not child support, you horrible, sick, pathetic human being. That's not child support. Paying for a Lamborghini payment is not child support. But also his other baby's mom, Tessa, the latest one, the newest model, I don't know what it's called. She's on the new season of Selling Sunset on Netflix. And she actually put out there that, yes, I'm known because, my boyfriend is Nick Cannon. And the black girl on the show, there's another black girl, is like, that's not your boyfriend. What are you talking? That's not your boyfriend. And she was like, oh, you're just jealous. She's like, no, I'm married with a baby. I'm not jealous of you. So he went from being the entrepreneur everybody thought was hip and cool and fun and, Mariah's ex, to now kind of being a joke. So that's what we keep bringing up. So let's move to...
it's not going to stop. This is not going to stop. He's going to continue. These kids are all, what are they ages from? Mariah has the oldest, which might be around my kid's age. They might be 10, 11. I think he's got twins with her,
I think they just turned 12, actually. I think they just turned 12 years old.
Okay,
they had
so
a
they're
birthday
twins.
recently.
Aren't they twins?
They're twins, Moroccan and Monroe.
Yeah. So, I don't know, man. You better just, every time I pop up, he got a new show, he got a new project going. So he got to get more checks coming in because, ooh, Lord. Anyway, all right. So, what stories? What else you got? Whatever crazy stories you got.
This is a hot one that I know a lot of our listeners will be like, this is not hot what? This was like a real teaching moment. But apparently, Barack and Michelle Obama could not stand each other for 10 years of the marriage.
I did see part of that interview. Trey was watching it with Oprah. Yeah.
It's got to be hot what? Because all of us as a black people who thinks their relationship is on a pedestal are like, what do you mean? How did you guys not love each other? But apparently, for 10 years, they couldn't stand each other. She said on CBS this morning, and that it took a long time for him to get back in her good graces. He said, let me just say this. It sure helps to be out of the White House and to have a little more time with her. Mm-hmm. And then again, he goes on to say, I did not fully appreciate, I think, how engaged as a father I was, the degree of stress and tension for her knowing that not just me and Michelle were under scrutiny in this strange environment, that we were raising our daughters in a kind of situation that just wasn't normal. And we all want to put them on this pedestal, but when you think about it, we put our marriage and our small children through this microscope we can't get out of for 8 years.
Yeah, I would, that's why every time it comes up about Michelle running for president, I just laugh. Like,
she would never do it.
Why would she do that? Like, she's experienced the most horrible, of course, and when it's all said and done, Barack did the job or whatever he did a good job. But how much of a difference can you make in that role? And that's what we're learning more and more with Trump and his time. And now you got all types of, oh my God, I wish I can find, what's his name? The one who looks like the old Fat Albert character, Tim Scott, who announced he's running for president now. And I got to find that video.
Is he going to get his teeth fixed?
And it's like during this speech, he talks about how he failed.
He's got black gums and dolphin teeth.
He talking about how he failed civics and he failed another class, and was like, you saying that laughing like that's something. You're a United States senator who says you failed civics. I pause for effect. You failed civics, and now you're a senator. That kind of is the microcosm of.
I don't know. On a happy note of Michelle and Barack's marriage is that their daughter, Sasha Obama, graduated from USC. And Sasha and Malia and Barack were, Sasha, Malia, and Michelle, all of them were there. Sorry, I'm saying the names wrong. We're all there for her graduation. It was nice. So it's cute. I'm glad they're repairing their marriage and spending time together. But people shouldn't be shocked. But this brings me to my other couple story is how Gabrielle Union said that her and Dwyane Wade went 50-50. And people were so stunned by this. They didn't even hear the whole quote. They just heard 50-50 and were like,
Nobody ever hears the whole quote. Nobody ever hears the whole quote. I would
never do that. And I'm just like, when you think about it, because what she said was, I feel safe in my household because if I don't, I'm 50-50 in my household, meaning somebody else is there to help me. In the other household that I maintain, probably her mom or a sibling or something, I pay all the bills there because ain't nobody working. Just like Dwyane pays all the bills so he's taken care of because nobody's working. Yeah. And I don't know that type of wealth to be able to take care of another household, but I do know in our house, Omar and I are 50-50. Not because we sat down and said, you pay this and you pay this and you pay that. It just ended up being like, oh, I switched our insurance to Progressive and put it under my account, so I'll just take care of it. Oh, okay, cool. Well, the mortgage is under your account, so just make sure it comes out. It's ended up being like that. And I feel like, are you and Tracy kind of like that as well?
Yeah, we just pay the bills. I'm saying the bills are the bills. I'm just like, I just think when it comes money.
We don't share accounts. So you and Tracy share accounts?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Not in this household. We don't share accounts. We don't share any accounts. I can see his main account and then that's it. He has 3 other ones that I don't even see. He just like shows me the screenshot and like, this is what it is. And then walks away. I'm like, all right, cool. It's fine.
I'm saying, if you guys have trust and that works for you, whatever floats your boat doesn't make a difference to me. As long as there are no delinquency notices and our credit ain't getting jacked up with the bills ain't getting paid, keep it moving. We are so focused on progression that folks who get tied up into that's coming out my account and pay for this and my car note that and blah 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 blah. I'm just like, yo, when it's all said and done, we got to be cared for. These youngins got to be cared for, and we got legacy to build. I'm not all this nickel and diamond and another box then came to the door and what's in that box, how much I done pay, man.
But what I find really sad is that a lot of Black women jump down her throat. And Black women, I'm sorry, I'd be trying to stay on y'all side, but y'all getting more raggedy as Instagram grows. It becomes this my man needs to pay for everything. He needs to cover all these bills in this house. And I'm just like, who can afford that these days? Honestly, who can afford that?
There's a radio host out of Chicago named Kendra. Have you seen her videos when she does these Instagram lives?
Kendra G?
Yes.
I watch Kendra G. Singles Live. I love Kendra G. Singles Live. It's hilarious.
There's so many train wrecks that comes on her lives, and I'm just like, some folks, y'all ain't got a chance.
And Kendra G is honest with them. She's just God. You have no job and 3 babies daddies and you want to find a man who makes 6 figures and can take care of you. I can't do that. I'm sorry. I can't do that, girl. Like, I'm sorry. You gotta go.
She just when she has some time, she'll have those looks on her face. It's like, you cannot be serious.
She does.
And it's I ain't gonna lie. It pops up on my thread and I watch them every now and again until I can't watch it no more.
I definitely watch them. So yeah, I just have kind of this weird sadness for a lot of Black women who are just, what are y'all searching for? Are you searching for a good life partner or are you chasing a bag? Because you can't do both sometimes. Actually, very rarely can you do both of finding a good life partner and chase the bag.
It's hard. It's hard for you to tell people that you can't do it. They believe that you chase that bag, that's going to keep you locked in. But anyway, all right. So that's our One segment of the week. And let me see. We don't really have,
There's more stuff.
I know it's a lot of stuff. We didn't.
Shout out to the intern Alexis who was like, here's 50 billion stories you guys can go through.
Oh my God. We didn't pull our marketing mastery tip this week though.
No, we can't do that yet. You guys need to do your LeBron conversation about.
We do have to do our LeBron
Omar, come in here.
So, anybody that follows me, first of all, I've been a Lakers fan forever. You can't see it right now, but anybody gets on my Zoom, here in my office, I've got some Kobe stuff up here, and so I've been a Lakers fan since I was a kid. But I'm not a. I like LeBron. I like LeBron since he came into the league. He's an amazing ball player. He's an amazing leader. And so he got swept last night by the Nuggets. The Lakers did. And so, or are you just exiting the conversation? This is just me and the Omar show now. Where you go?
So you can
Uh-huh. So
I'll be back. You guys know this part.
okay. All right. So LeBron James, here we go. All right. So first of all, are you going to admit that you are LeBron? Are you a LeBron hater? Let's just make sure we get clarity on that.
No. I'm not a LeBron hater.
Okay.
What I am is a realist.
Okay.
Right? So with LeBron, I was a huge fan when he was with Miami.
Mm-hmm.
And then he goes back to Cleveland and he does the whole, I'm going to form my own big three and get my own title here, which he did. He went to the championship for a number of years.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're saying in LA, I'm only here to win championships. You didn't show that.
First of all, they won a championship, and don't give me that bubble nonsense.
He won it in the bubble.
Oh, we're not having that conversation.
We're not going to have that conversation
because everybody played the same series.
Said to everybody that I talked with, I said LeBron's going to win one game. It's game 4 to avoid getting swept. That's what I said. And I was rooting for him just for that one game last night.
He had 30 points last night in the first half.
He had 31 in the first half.
He ended up with 40 points, almost a triple-double. And folks are still finding ways to blame LeBron. Here's the thing about me and LeBron.
Like I said, I don't think we should blame him at all. I think I call Anthony Davis glass man because every time he hits the floor, he's hurt. Ow, ooh, look.
He didn't get hurt. He didn't get hurt in the finals, which was good. The Nuggets were just better.
I think he needs better support, and I mentioned this to you before you went on air.
Yeah.
That they're gonna go after Irving. They're gonna get Kyrie.
Sure.
They're gonna unload the rest of the roster or whatever.
No, they don't have to.
They're gonna make the space to get him for 1 year, and LeBron is gonna stay in the league until his son gets drafted by the Orlando Magic, and he's gonna take a mediocre contract to come play for Orlando with his son for 1 season, and he's done. He's not going to be
all of that makes perfect sense to me. I think why I wanted to have this part of the conversation with the community and Kid just dropped you in there.
It's fine.
There are people who are writing whole dissertations out here about why LeBron is not what he is. LeBron is the number 1 scorer in the history of the NBA. He's top 5. I think he's number 4 right now, all times in assists. By next year, he'll be the number 1 in all-time minutes played in the league. 11 straight years, he either won the NBA Finals or he was in the finals for 11 straight years. Since he got into the league, he's been, I would give him, when he first got in the league in 2003, Kobe was still there. Who was still there that was of significance, that was a star?
Tim Duncan,
but he never really was the face of the league. I would say within 3 years, max, LeBron was the face of the league. So for the last 17 years, he has been the focus of the league. Everybody wants to put together teams to beat him, but it's always him putting teams together. Every team was put together. The Celtics were put together to beat him in 2007, 2008. You look at Golden State and what has been happening there, and they've had a great lineup and a great front office for years. But this team they put together was put together 2/3 of the way through the season.
That's correct.
And they were 2-10 to start the season. With 2 weeks left in the season, they were 12th in the West. They got into the play-in game and ended up getting in. They wore Memphis out real quick. They worked Golden State real quick. And here's the thing I saw when I first saw the stats. I saw when they started the Western Conference Finals, there was 5 guys on Denver that shot over 45% from 3. I said, LA's that's a problem. And that was the problem. Everybody's hitting shots from all over the floor. You've got him. Well, you got LeBron in this game who guarded everybody from Jokic all the way down to Jamal Murray in this game, and so the hate that LeBron receives, and I get it. I'm not the average fan. I look at sports differently. It's interesting, but I'm not a super fan of anybody. The people who hate LeBron, man, is crazy to me. I'm just like, y'all need a new hobby. Get a new hobby.
But here, and I will say this.
It's not my show anymore.
LeBron, since he came in, has been a workaholic. He has taken care of his body.
Yes.
For a number of years. Hence the reason why he broke Wilt's record.
Where you going, kid?
He has done a lot.
I'll be back. He gets 5 more seconds before I jump in.
He has done a lot for the NBA, and I'm not gonna lie.
Absolutely.
Face of the league and all the other stuff he's done. I'm not knocking him for that at all. I think
knocking him for
that.
What is there to knock LeBron for? Give me one reason to knock LeBron.
The way the game has changed. Objectively, the way the game has changed, he is. If I'm going to complain, there's a reason. You have to listen to me. Okay, this is not the LeBron NBA. This is not LBA. Okay. It really is. Okay.
How is he? I'm trying to figure. If he complains, you feel like he complains and the league changes because he complains?
Yeah. If you watch any of his games, he does more complaining than he does.
Everybody complains in the NBA.
Say bye, honey.
Bye.
Grab your beer over there. All right, let me make my LeBron comments very quickly. I think if, like you guys said, LeBron isn't a lot for the league. If it wasn't for LeBron, who would be running towards as a superstar right now?
Well, and that's just it. LeBron is going to retire within the next 2 years. Who's going to be the face of the league? A lot of the big stars are not that much younger than LeBron, right? So Kevin Durant. I'm going to answer your question. That's how I process it. I'm looking at it and saying, who's the star? Jason Tatum, he's in his mid-20s. You got this young kid, Wembanyama, who's getting drafted this year, 7'4", 7'5". We'll see how well but the league is going to change drastically. John Morant doesn't know how to keep guns out of his pocket and out of IG lives. Pew, pew, pew. So
I'm on top of a car in the hood waving my gun. Yeah.
Right. So I just, this league has changed, but the league has changed for people. LeBron came into the league when we still had flip phones. Okay. So social media and the evolution that has happened during LeBron's career, it ain't going to be one guy anymore. It's going to be different audiences are going to gravitate to different players, but it's going to LeBron. That's why they holding on. They're like, man, LeBron, please play one more year because we'll figure out what to do with this league after he's gone.
Let me explain what I'm saying. Is that LeBron? I don't know if anybody else realizes LeBron was the last high school superstar. Was he not?
He was no.
Before they changed the rule.
One of the last. He was one of the last, but it wasn't too far.
And of those other ones who were high school superstars, he's the only one that has somehow managed to bounce from multiple teams and bring everybody. Now you were a Cleveland's fan. Now you're a Miami Heat fan. Well, I'm saying about people in general. Now you're a Lakers fan because we're following LeBron. He has kept the heat of excitement and change in the league over the past, I want to say 20 years now.
It's been 20 years. Yeah. This is 20th
No
year.
one else has been able to do that.
Nobody.
No one else has been able to do what he does. That's why I feel like when people are annoyed with him, it's not so much that they're annoyed with him as they're just kind of, it's almost like ads on Facebook. You get that frequency level. Instead of your frequency, we only seen this ad once or twice. We're now seeing that ad. She heard her baby's crying. Mama Blanche is up. We're now seeing this ad 5, 10, 7 times a week. He's now in movies. He's now on ads. He's now doing this. It becomes too much for people to handle.
But here's the thing, and I get it. So the bottom line is people don't like the fact that LeBron represents overkill. He's everywhere. Maybe that's what it is.
Oversaturation is the word for it.
Oversaturation, yes. Maybe that's what it is. Some people are just born haters, and that's fine too. That to me equates to hating equates to bullying, which I hate. So it's so crazy as crazy as it may sound. I always as much as people attack LeBron, I still feel like in a lot of ways he ends up being an underdog because he's got so many people who hate him for no reason. I'm just like,
Oh yeah, because remember, even and it's not even other players who hate him and celebrity commentators who hate him.
yeah,
He's got fans threatening his children at games.
yeah.
Because remember, there's been people are like, "Oh, he's such a baby," and a fan put out for threatening his child. That's the next level thing that people shouldn't be
No,
doing.
ain't nobody
But
mess with my kids, man. You know,
it's
and you know,
different. It's different. It's
and
different.
and the fact that as soon as he leaves, his sons are going to come right behind him. The pressure that they're going to have to endure, coming behind him. I think right now I haven't seen much of his youngest Bryce. His Bronny, from a personality standpoint, is going to be built to deal with it. I don't know if his game is going to, because he's not that big. Bronny's only about 6'4", so
but he's very good.
he's good. But there's a lot of people that are very good. So the advantages that LeBron had being 6'9", 260 pounds, he doesn't have. His youngest son might get to that, but I don't think Bronny's going to ever get to be that big. But hey, man, you know, for all my LeBron haters out there, some of y'all watching this after the fact, man.
And let's bring up some more. Let's bring up not even LeBron hate, James family hate. A lot of people are saying how Savannah, his wife, is now coming out. And a lot of people are just like, oh, your husband made you stay at home. You were the good wife and now you're out in these streets. And she's just like, what are y'all talking about? I'm just a regular woman living my life. I was raising my kids. I don't really like social media. Now I'm out. Now that's bad. You guys have always labeled me the perfect wife for being quiet. I wasn't that either. I just was not on social media.
I was not letting y'all mind my
business.
business. You wasn't minding my business. I wasn't sharing everything with y'all. Mind your business. That's what I love about anybody that has touched the Jay-Z, Beyonce, because you don't know what happens in their private lives, as in Jay-Z and Beyonce. So
we only know one bad thing because she put it out in an album. If she never put the album out, we wouldn't know.
Right.
And that elevator fight.
Right.
That was leaked.
And so she said, okay, instead of us letting the social media run with this thing, we're going to put a whole project out about this. And they got 2 projects out, Lemonade and the Carter album, which they came behind it and made a bunch of money off of it. LeBron has learned from them. I saw something recently about Chloe, from Chloe and Halle. Which one is it, the one that's in the mermaid thing? Is it Halle or Chloe? Which one is it? Halle or Chloe? I think it's Halle.
Halle is in Little Mermaid.
It was in, and so there's debates about who she's dating, and they don't know. Here's the thing, social media people, it ain't your damn business. And so all this stuff that people put out on social media is really voluntary that they put that stuff out there. The ones who are most successful in riding these waves are the ones who make you wonder. So keep wondering what's going on with Savannah James, and keep wondering what's going on with Halle, and keep wondering what's going on with people who know how to run their careers.
And even if we know, everybody's gonna have something to say. It's gonna be negative. It's not gonna be something positive and happy. It's always, and that's why people keep it private, because everybody is never something good to say. It's always
negative. It's always negative because negativity is what gains people's interest. All right, man. Let me see. Anything else we got to rock before we get up out of here? Because I know the game is on.
So my phone died, so I can't even see. Let me see if I can still see the list of stuff. Because intern Alexis was like, there's so much stuff, guys, here. Let me check the new list. Let's see. No.
It's
Did we talk about Jim Brown dying? Jim Brown died.
Jim Brown passed away. God, lift the man. So of course, Jim Brown, NFL legend, civil rights activist. He's been involved ever since the late 1950s, early 1960s. He was one of the best football players. Retired after only 9 years of playing football in the 1960s. And so, but there's stories out there that I guess Kia said this in Playboy Mansion stuff where he supposedly had raped some girls or some sexual assaults, and I don't know. But if that's the case, and obviously he's paying, he's now paying one way or the other for how he lived his life.
Yeah, R.I.P. Jim. I'm sorry you're dead. The other serious story that I wanted to bring up, sorry you're dead. Is the story, and I guess we'll talk about this when we come back, but I want to do a quick couple minutes on it, is the fact that the CVS security guard shot and killed a person who was shoplifting a $14 product. And then another just recently came out, thank you, intern Alexis, for pointing out, another security guard actually ran over somebody stealing something with their car, like tried to chase him down with their security car and killed them. the person who killed the person that was killed at the CVS was a trans person, which to me, it doesn't matter. I don't care. It's not that big of a deal that they were trans or straight or whatever. It doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
What I thought was disgusting was the fact that the security guard lost the fight. The guy who stole something, the person was out the store and was kind of bragging like, aha, I got away. So then the security guard pulled out a gun and shot them. That's not being a security guard. That is a cold-blooded murder.
No, yeah, I remember seeing the video for that. And so, do you have an update on that? Did he get arrested or?
No, he has not been arrested yet. He hasn't been arrested yet.
So then you got the other situation with the guy with mental illness who was killed in the New York subway, and so now he is the former
Yes, and
Marine.
that guy has been arrested.
He's
and
raised $2
they
million
have
plus. Go
yes,
$1
million plus. Also, the city bike lady who was 6 months pregnant, who took the bike from the black guy, even though she
was pregnant. Okay.
She had a receipt. She had a receipt for the wrong bike at the wrong station, but she had a receipt. Whatever, fine. And screamed for help and fake cried and the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Her family put a GoFundMe out there and raised $110,000 for her lawyer fees because she's trying to fight 2 fights now. She's trying to fight the media for defamation, and she's also trying to fight the hospital to get her job back. So she needs a lot of money to fight these 2 cases because they're very, very different. So,
but the story, part of the story here is that anytime you have these stories where these Karens or, it don't take much for these right wingers to raise money. They could be dead wrong, and folks are gonna get them some bread to fight.
But you want to hear something crazy? All the people who would donate to her to anonymous, meaning they'll donate to you, but they don't want anybody to know that was them. And my whole thing to you people who are right wingers, you are white supremacists, stand in who you are. Stand in what it is. You're so pro-white and so white supremacist and anti-Karen and blah, blah, blinkety blink. Stand in it. I have gotten in multiple fights on Instagram about being a Black Republican, about being who I am. And this is my name. This is what I look like. This is the show that I'm on because I can stand in it. This whole, I'm just going to do this in private in the dark.
Right.
It's crappy. To me, it's crappy. Maybe I'm wrong.
The story we didn't talk about today. Have you been following the Rick Ross, DJ Envy?
Yes. Me and Mama Blanche, she's in there laying down. We were driving to Atlanta and it was early in the morning, so we heard it. And my mom was like, oh, I hope DJ Envy's not really fighting with Rick Ross. Rick Ross is a big rapper and DJ Envy is really important. You know how she talks. You've met her. You know how she talks. Yeah. And mom doesn't know Rick Ross or anything like that. But I think Rick Ross, personally, from what I've heard, I feel like he might be the one in the wrong in the situation. Am I wrong, Miguel?
It's all ridiculous. First of all,
okay.
I saw yesterday DJ Envy, because I guess now the show broadcasts live on BET. So
yes, and my mom loves that because they only show the interviews and the core stuff on BET.
So I'm like, I've known of DJ Envy for years. DJ Envy went to Hampton. I knew some of his people. We were in college around the same time. So he was always just a cool DJ dude. Him and his crew, like, a couple of his mans have managed major artists like Trey Songz and stuff. They was a little dope little crew. But to watch him talk about DJ Envy, talk about Rick Ross, and he put this, it was to me very juvenile. I'm like, y'all are 50-year-old. Like, come on, man.
I agree with you on that. When they were talking about the man milk in the bed, I was like, you guys are now taking this to a stupid place. It doesn't need to go. And I didn't like
because he started talking about DJ Envy's wife. Like, I guess Rick Ross was talking about DJ Envy's wife.
And his daughter.
Right.
He was saying how the only reason that that DJ Envy is wealthy is because he sued somebody who discriminated against his daughter. I was like, okay, now Rick, you've gone too far. But the argument started because Rick Ross was criticizing DJ Envy's car event because DJ Envy's car event is very family oriented. It only costs like $20 a person to get in. You can see all the cars and concerts, but Rick Ross's is like an elite car show.
So here's some backstory on Rick Ross.
Audiences.
Here's some backstory on Rick Ross. Rick Ross's house is in Fayetteville, which is 15 to 20 miles from where I am right now. Rick Ross's house used to be Evander Holyfield's house. It is a huge complex. It's in Fayetteville. There's a young lady who's a realtor. About a month ago, there was an issue because he has real bison, on his land. And the bison strolled off his land and was dropping nuggets all through the neighborhood in the community, digging holes in people's lawns. and he was just throwing up his hands. So now he
doing
wants
what bisons do, basically.
right.
That's what bisons
So
do.
now he wants to have a car show at his house
At his house.
in Fayetteville, and the city said and the county said no, and supposedly he said I'm gonna do it anyway. It should be in not this coming weekend, but the weekend after next. Like, dude, come on, man, you gotta.
And
Once
he's
again,
charging a
social
crazy
capital.
amount of money to go to the car show too, right? Like it's like $200 a ticket. Like with DJ Envy's car show is like a traveling thing,
Right.
where you can enter into your car show in an
Correct.
approved location. Your families can come, and it's like a whole concert car show
Right.
situation. Rick
So
Ross's thing just seems like I just want to be an a-hole to my neighborhood.
How do you go from having a friendly dispute over car shows and who got the best car show, which y'all both gonna make a bunch of money and y'all both doing it just to have fun because y'all both multimillionaires, so this is not really where you make all your money, to him talking about DJ Envy's wife and talking about
And daughter.
and this is the nonsense, man, that just makes, and y'all are adults, y'all think this is WWE like it's all fun. There are young people that are listening to you who don't have that level of discernment, that are really picking sides right now, and they really decide, who are they rocking with. And man, I don't know, man. It's just the type of stuff that made me look at these, this social capital. They're getting attention, and it's always about the attention game. Charlamagne sitting back there like a gaslighter. He's loving the whole thing. He's firing it all the way up. And I just like, man, I don't know, man.
Ooh, one more question before we leave.
Okay.
Who has been your favorite guest host from The Breakfast Club who should take over Angelique's position? I am team Jess Hilarious. My mom said there's some girl from New Orleans she really liked. I think Jess Hilarious is the best fit.
That's funny. It's funny because I don't know if this New Orleans girl you're talking about or not. I think Jess Hilarious is hilarious. I think she's funny. I think she would be a good fit. There was another girl. First of all, I don't listen to The Breakfast Club like that. I see their clips come across my feed.
Blanche does.
Which is weird to me.
But
there was a woman there was a woman that called herself trying to clown Jamal Bryant. Did you see that clip?
Fair. I didn't, but fair, because I hate Jamal Bryant. And
whatever. So Jamal Bryant evidently did Clay Evans, I think is his name, who happens to actually be a Norfolk State grad, which I didn't know. He used to be the manager for T.I. and some others down here in Atlanta, and he recently passed away. So they did the services at New Birth, the church where Jamal Bryant is the pastor. And so I guess
I heard about this, and it went raggedy. It went left, like he didn't do a good job or something, and they were
supposedly.
mad about it.
Have you heard about this? But she tried to. So what
I've
happened was
I didn't know it was him, but yes, I've heard about this.
Okay, so you got to find the clip. I'm gonna find the clip. It's on the Breakfast Club's Instagram. But she tried to clown Jamal without being on the air. So then they put the little SpongeBob joint 5 minutes later. So Jamal calls the show.
Oh,
and
God.
And then Jamal people who don't know Jamal Bryant is not your average preacher.
He's a thug. He's a thug with a cross on his chest.
He's not your average preacher, right? So she tried to get up there and try to say, oh yeah. And she was like, this woman, she's a comedian who I've never heard of. But she supposedly is funny. She's touring with T.I. I don't know. So she tried to clown Jamal Bryant, and she started talking about, they put the light up, and he just probably didn't know what it meant. He said to her, oh, I know what it meant. I've been to your shows. And then, huh?
He wins. That was a good line.
But then it came back to, she was kind of like, oh, okay, well, I'm not. Everybody laughing at her. And then later on, when he about to come up off the show, he said something about, invite me to the show. TD Jakes ain't the only preacher out here. Ha ha ha. And she said, well, when you come to New York, make sure you come to my show. He said to her, oh yeah, I'll be there. You ain't got nothing but tickets. He wore her behind out and hung up the phone.
I didn't let Jamal Bryant clown you though. But anyway, we got to wrap it up. It's 9:10. But we could go on about this because
that's a whole nother conversation. Anyway, y'all been missing the part of the show. Make sure y'all go ahead and like, subscribe, share it out there. You've been watching Life on Circuit Radio. We'll holler at y'all next week. Well, not next week.
Not next week.
Memorial Day. Enjoy your hot dogs.
Y'all in June.